What is the best accent of English? Where do accents come from? Where did my accent come from? Today, in this video, I'm going to talk about accents. Hello, Smilers. Welcome to the Smile in English podcast, where we have real conversations in easy English for your listening practice. I am Anika, and today we're talking about accents. Now, English being a global lingua franca, there are so many English speakers around the world. In fact, there are 1.5 billion English speakers all around the world, and only 25% of these speakers are native English speakers, meaning they were born and raised in countries where the official language is English. Now, are the best accents only these accents from originally officially English-speaking countries like the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand? Who decides what's the best English accent? There are a variety of opinions on this topic, and there's a lot of English learners seem to think that it's either the British or American accents that are best, that need to be followed. But then, what does it really mean? In the UK, there is a variety of accents depending on the region where people are from. In the US, do you mean you'd like to learn the accent of a New York banker? Or is a Texan accent okay as well? Again, there's a variety of accents in a given country even. So who decides what the standard accent really is? The short answer is there is no such thing as the best accent. In fact, as an English learner, instead of focusing on an accent, what we need to focus on is clear pronunciation. It is possible to have a thick accent and correct pronunciation, which should be our main goal. But it's also possible to have neutral or very native speaker-like accent and have wrong pronunciation. So we don't want that. There is a correct and incorrect pronunciation, but there is no correct or incorrect accent. What's the difference between pronunciation and accent? Simply put, pronunciation is the right way or a wrong way to say a given word. Accent is your style of speaking. Accent or your style of speaking depends on your first language or the region that you grew up in. So every accent tells your story. So instead of feeling ashamed of your accent, let's embrace our accent and be proud of our accent, because there is no such thing as a wrong accent, but there is such a thing as wrong pronunciation. So focus on the right pronunciation. But then there is a little bit of overlap between accent and pronunciation. For example, you're learning a new word and there is a British pronunciation and American pronunciation. So if you open up a Cambridge dictionary, sometimes they have two options, the UK and US accent. So you're kind of given a choice between two identity here. So accents are kind of identity, isn't it? So which one do you pick? Pick the one that is easy for you to pronounce. Something that is easy for you to say correctly is the best pronunciation for you specifically. For example, How do you say this word? Do you say schedule or do you say schedule? I personally find it easy to say schedule. So I pick schedule. If you find it easier to say schedule, go for it. So it is okay to also mix your accent. There is nothing wrong with it. So as I was saying, your accent tells your story, and so does mine. So here is my story. So I was born in Bangladesh, and I lived there for 19 years of my life. While I was living there, I was exposed to Bangladeshi accent, which is quite difficult to understand for a lot of people. But I was mainly exposed to Bangladeshi accents at school. And then I was also exposed to, obviously, cartoons, usually American cartoons. I was very much exposed to British movies because I was obsessed with Harry Potter. So I was already exposed to a mix of accents. Then I moved to Malaysia when I went to university, and over there I was exposed to a variety of accents. I was exposed to Chinese accents, the Malay accent, a lot of Arab accents. None of those accents were native English accents. So again, I was exposed to a variety of accents. Next, I moved to Italy, and throughout my experience in Italy, I was exposed to a lot of Italian and other European accents. And since most of my colleagues were from native English-speaking countries, I was also exposed to native English accents. Now, as you can see, there was a variety of accents that I have been exposed to in my life, and I picked up from different people, different experiences. And so my accent is very mixed. So my accent, my mixed accent, is a result of my life experience, and I am proud of it. So should you. Let's talk about what it means to have an accent and why it's cool. I think having an accent is super cool. First of all, because it means for sure you speak multiple languages, at least 2 languages for sure, which is very cool in itself. Having an accent means you're brave, you're courageous, because you're speaking in a language that is not yours. You're taking risks to make mistakes. And that is a sign of bravery. So that is very cool. And finally, having an accent is actually attractive to a lot of people. Having neutral or no accent is actually boring to a lot of people. Don't be ashamed of your accent. If anything, be proud of your accent, because this is your identity, your unique experience. It tells your story.